Today on The Sunday Stupid, Phuket Turd poses a very important question.
Yeah, where are the stars? This should be a riot of colour.
I ask Flat Earth Observer what life is like in the cabin of his tower crane.
Dead skin cells, hair, feces particles, urine particles.
Ooh, you want to clean it out a bit. And I ask Professor Matt Powell what will happen to me if I check out his social blade.
Dude, you will go to hell!
All that on today's Sunday Stupid. Howdo, dearest viewer, and welcome back to my little corner of the YouTubers. Thank you so much for joining me. I don't know where that posh voice came from, but anyway, as you can see, I am wearing my George t-shirt. George is going to go mad when he finds out I've nicked it off his washing line. But anyway, I've got 2 patrons. Lovely jubbly, lovely jubbly. Thank you so much. Sven Rollins, who was my very first patron, and Bob Sadler, a massive, massive thank you. It really does mean a lot to me, so thank you again. Anyway, on with today's show, and up first is Phuket Turd. He is, I believe, a fake flat earther. He said the earth is flat a few years ago. I think he got a bit of attention, and he's just ran with it, basically. That's what I think anyway. But he poses a question. What has the globe done for us? Well, it's basically given us a home. Really? I don't think I need to say anything more. Sod it. I'll let him explain.
Hello, Flat Earth researchers, debaters and debunkers.
Hello. Welcome to my channel, and don't be boring.
What has the globe Earth ever done for you?
Me, personally, it's given me a planet to live on.
Or humanity as a whole?
Oh, you mean all of us? Right, humanity as a whole. Right. It's given us all a planet to live on.
This Earthrise image was taken more than 50 years ago, and it is supposed to be one of the most iconic images of the century.
You sarcastic turd. It is one of the most iconic images of the last century. It's a symbol of man's achievements. It's iconic. It's that Alanis Morissette song, Isn't It Iconic? And yes, it's iconic.
But what has that done for us? What has it done for individuals, and what has it done for humanity as a whole?
You ignorant wilf. It's called space exploration because as human beings we have a burning desire to explore. We have this instinct to explore. I think all animals possess it. You know, we want answers to our questions. How the moon was really formed, how the earth was formed, you know, how the solar system was formed, how it began, how the universe began. We want answers to all these questions. Is there life on, intelligent life on other planets? It's called space exploration. We have this burning desire, like I just said, to explore. If you were one of the first human beings on the planet, you'd still be sat in your cave, wondering what's over the next hill and what an apple tastes like.
If we now know that we live on this ball or a pale blue dot, it's not the first photograph that we've been given of the Earth from space.
That's true, it isn't. This one is.
And so, what does it mean?
What does what mean? I told you, don't be boring.
Has it answered any of those burning questions?
Yeah, like, what shape is the Earth? Yes, it's answered that question. What is the moon made of? Yes, it's answered that question as well. Can we travel through space? It's answered that question as well. And lots more.
Has it given us any kind of sense of unity or community if we're all just together on this speck in empty space?
Well, no, because that wasn't the intention. The intention at that time, at the height of the Cold War, was to be the first one to put a man on the moon.
I mean, okay, it represents, in one way, it represents the achievements of mankind.
Well, by jibbity, I think he's got it.
So what has that achievement given us? It's given us this perception of ourselves on a speck.
Well, you ignorant Burke, I'm triggered now and I'm about to snap because you are ignorant. You are the type who is still sat in the cave, wondering what's over the next hill, wondering what an apple tastes like, while the rest of us are getting on. We are excited by space exploration. Since that very first picture of the Earth from space in 1946 to up to the present day, we've achieved so much, but there's so much more to achieve. That's what drives us forward as a race of human beings. You ignorant bark.
And you'd have thought that it would inspire us to look after the planet and each other.
Well, yes, I totally agree, but unfortunately it didn't, because we have people like yourself who pretend that the Earth is flat, and we have people who genuinely believe that the Earth is flat. So...
But nothing has really improved.
But our understanding of space exploration and our understanding of where we live and how it came to be has improved. Isn't that a start?
Things seem to have gotten much worse. There were wars and assassinations and what have you going on, big news events, but that hasn't changed.
Oh, big news events like the first man in space, the first man on the moon, big news events like that.
So this photograph circulating among the world's population hasn't resolved any of our issues. It hasn't taken us any closer to reaching any kind of global community. We are still divided, and we're divided in so many more ways than we could ever have dreamed possible.
What, you mean globe earthers and flatwits?
And, you know, this, if this is a fact of our life, it doesn't really do anything to inspire us, does it? Well, it might inspire us to think that we could go to other planets. We've got the science to go wherever we want to go, and we'll get there eventually. Well, you know, it's a mission to explore space, but, well, what's there?
What's out there? Let's see. Stars, planets, solar systems, galaxies, comets, nebulas, the Oort cloud, the Kuiper belt. You mean those things?
All we know of is desolate places, and our Earth is the only place that has any kind of life.
That is why we are exploring space. Is that sinking in yet? And please, please, for the love of God, can you stop rolling that spliff?
So why would we be in such a desperate rush to get off this rock?
You cave-dwelling arse, we're not in a desperate need to get off this rock at all. We want to explore, and that's what drives us. I'm snapping.
What is it about this lovely place? Well, of course, it's not lovely for everyone, and it's not lovely all the time. But this place where life flourishes and thrives, yeah, where are the stars? This should be a riot of colour.
Oh, this old chestnut. Oh, for the love of milk chocolate hobnobs. I can't believe. Know you nothing of camera exposure. That's it. Right, I'm going to. For the final bloody time, here's some pictures of the moon with some stars in the same bloody picture. Only joking. Here's some proper ones. Right, that's it. I'm done with Phuket Turd. I'm just far too triggered. Now, I think we should move on to another dipstick now, and Flat Earth Observer. And he has a problem with a toilet.
Now we're inside the Dragon capsule now, which is obviously what's supposedly approaching the International Space Station in that footage we've just seen, which of course makes a mockery of itself anyway.
Whoa, just a minute there, Mr. Yellow Earth Observer. I've seen that photo somewhere before. I've seen it in a video, a 2-minute video. Does the SpaceX Crew Dragon have a toilet? Here's a little snippet.
Where you can see the toilet access panel that's opened up, along with the necessary accessories.
Ah, now, I am willing to bet that you didn't watch the whole of that video, did you, Mr. Yellow Earth Observer?
But I thought we'd look at the Dragon capsule now and the toilet,
Whatever floats your boat, you perv.
which you can see here is on the wall. Essentially, you pull this toilet down, put this shower curtain thing up, which you can see here.
And again, you've lifted that from the 2-minute Tuesday video, didn't you?
Although the astronauts do have a curtain that they can pull in front of them, which is something that we saw on the Crew 1 mission.
Tut.
And sit on the toilet and do your business in the same room that everyone else is in, whether you're having a number 1 or number 2. I gather number 2 is a bit rarer for the first 24 hours. It does happen, but it's a bit rarer.
You learnt quite a lot from that little 2-minute video, didn't you, Mr. Yellow Earth Observer? I learnt something as well. You know, when you're in space and you're weightless, obviously, you know, your bodily liquids are more equally distributed around your body. So that gives you the urge within the first couple of hours and the need to pee.
But still, imagine that. People using that toilet, 4 people in there, using that toilet while they're travelling. It would be horrendous.
Probably for ordinary human beings like me and you, but I don't know, and you don't know either, do you? No, you don't know. But what we do know is that astronauts train for years to deal with that sort of stuff, so to them it probably isn't horrendous. I wish I was an astronaut going into space, because I'd weigh less. I predict a diet.
And that alone highlights how terrible living in space would be. It would stink. Dead skin cells, hair, feces particles, urine particles. It would be a disgusting, horrible environment.
Have ye not heard of vacuums? Now, I'm guessing because SpaceX is keeping pretty quiet on the, on how the toilet works on the capsule. So I'm guessing that there's some sort of vacuum system on there, to suck out all the feces and the dead skin and the urine and the... Oh, God. Do you know, the other day from Iceland, I bought a cheese and bacon quiche, and I was going to have that with some chips and beans tonight, and it's just put me right off.
And yet these people want to throw their food around in this environment. Can you see how crazy this is?
Again, vacuums.
Bear with me.
I'd rather not, but if I must.
Now this is some footage of them on their way to the ISS, in the capsule we've seen of the footage, throwing food around. Bearing in mind we've seen the toilet stuck on the wall. I don't know if anyone needed to do a number 2. There's 4 people there. The flight was 22 to 24 hours, I gather. There's a good chance someone might have needed to do a number 2, which means potentially there was feces particles flying around this capsule, this enclosed space, urine particles flying around, and yet strangely enough these people want to throw their food around in the same capsule. Look.
Well, how do you know that they're not eating first and then needing the loo? How do you know this? I mean, us normal people, we eat first and then sometime later we tend to visit the lavatory. That's us normal people, in fact, not you flat earthers that do things the other way around. You tend to spew crap from your mouths and then eat. Ugh.
We've also had some time to perfect our techniques of food eating and food fun. So going for some toss practice here. This is why we practice. All right, one on the way to Matthias. Throw, that was my fault.
Now that capsule would be absolutely stinking. It would be disgusting smell. There'd be particles of one and number two floating about, and yet these fools want to throw their food around.
Like I've said before, how do you know that they're not eating first and then going to the lavatory afterwards? It's how us normal people would do it. And I see that you're not addressing the fact that that food is floating towards their gobs. It's almost as if they're actually in space, you little pole, isn't it? Anyway, we're going to leave Yellow Earth Observer and his obsession with piss and shit done and dusted. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you to my two amazing patrons. Thank you so much. Please join me again on the next one, which will be Wacky Wednesday, 8 p.m. And please join me next Sunday for the Sunday Stupid. And look out for a television licensing video sometime this week. I'll see you very soon. Ta-ra for a bit.